Yes, good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for coming. It's been a long time since we met, so I thought we'll have a press conference and brief you about what happened in our Politburo meeting. Well, the first issue is that post the developments in Bihar and the change in the government there, and with the Mahagathbandhan government assuming office, activities among the opposition parties in order to bring together some sort of a broader coming together of secular and democratic parties to take on the challenge today to safeguard the Indian Constitution, democracy, democratic rights, and India's economic sovereignty. This process has got a new momentum, and the Politburo decided that we'll make all efforts and join in this larger, broadest possible mobilization of secular forces against Hindutva, communalism, and against this Hindutva agenda. So that we have decided, and therefore this process will continue now, and I'm sure it will take a concrete form and shape in various states depending on the different political parties who are the dominant party in each state. So the effort would be to first to forge these sort of understandings and arrangements at the state level, like it always happens in India. And on that basis we proceed, and in every state the dominant secular democratic force will take the lead in doing it, like it happened in Tamil Nadu, like it will happen now in various other places. So that is the first decision that has been taken. The second issue that we discussed was the overall decline and the economic, virtually the slowdown, leading to a recession of the Indian economy. We are no longer in stagflation. It is now reaching a recessionary point, with the industry and manufacturing also declining very sharply in July. And this is leading to further contraction of jobs. Already the unemployment situation is the worst that we've had in many, many decades now. The NCRB, the report has shown that the largest number of suicides in 2021 was among the daily wage workers. And in this situation, with the unemployment going to worsen, along with inflation continuing to be rampant, the wholesale price index has been high for 17 months now. The retail prices have breached the RBI ceiling of 6% for the 8th consecutive month. Now, with this situation of runaway inflation, growing unemployment over an already bad situation, it is no longer stagflation, but it's moving towards a recessionary conditions with the fall in your industrial output, particularly manufacturing output. So in this background, the Central Committee had already given a call for a protest campaign and protest actions all over the country by the CPIM between the 14th and the 24th of September. In many states they have begun, and this will take various forms, different forms, somewhere Rasta Roko, Rail Roko, whatever be the forms that will be worked out at the state level, culminating in a state level rally, a public rally or a public meeting at the state capital. So this is the protest action plan that we have worked out as a party. Various mass organizations like the Agriculture Labour, Kisan Sabhas and the trade unions, they have jointly given a call at a convention that was held recently. So you will find big working people's actions all over the country that are going to be unleashed. The Politburo also expressed concern over the attacks on women, the rising crime against women, and particularly the recent two Dalit women found hanging after now reportedly horrific gang rape and murder in Uttar Pradesh, continues to confirm that this state is completely moving into a degree of lawlessness, and the security of women is actually hitting the nadir. Finally, on tomorrow, that is 17th of September, is the anniversary of the day in which the Nizam of Hyderabad surrendered and the state of Hyderabad, erstwhile princely state of Hyderabad, became part of the Indian Union. Now the BJP, as it's practiced, is distorting history, rewriting history, by claiming this to be a liberation day. And the whole thrust is to aim at creating further communal polarization, saying this is liberation from a Muslim ruler, from the Muslim rule, and therefore to use this as the liberation day. What is the actual history? Much before 1948, for 2 years before this, the Communist Party of India then had launched a massive armed rebellion against the brutal oppressive landlordism that was practiced under the Nizam. It's famously called the Telangana armed struggle. And this armed struggle of the peasantry, which continued till 1951, for 5 years, it liberated nearly thousands of villages where lands were confiscated from the landlords, distributed amongst the people who were the real tillers, and was actually a liberated zone with gram pramukhs and people's rule established there for more than 3 years during the course of the struggle. This had undermined the authority and made the Nizam's rule untenable. The police action, that is called Operation Polo, that was launched in September 13, 1948. That was the last straw on the back because Nizam was already collapsing. And this police action, which came in within 4 days, the Nizam surrendered, and Hyderabad became part of the Indian Union. But the Indian Army stayed on there till 1951. They stayed on there till the Communist Party of India officially withdrew that armed struggle. In that background, after a lot of discussions that took place in India and with the international communist movement also. And that, after the communists withdrew, that is when the Indian Army left. That is, the target was to ensure that there won't be a communist rule after the Nizam left. And in order to prevent a communist takeover in Hyderabad, the Indian Army stayed on. This is actually recorded history. And this history is now sought to be distorted by claiming that this is a liberation from the Muslim rule. And again, Hindu-Muslim polarization, which is exactly what their fascistic politics is all about. But strangely, today they announced that the birthday of Raja Hari Singh will be a public holiday because he was a benevolent ruler. As the king of the Dogra Empire of Jammu and Kashmir, Raja Hari Singh refused to join India at the time of independence. He wanted to remain independent. It is only when the Pakistani raiders came in that he requested the Indian army to go. The Indian army goes in there like it went in Hyderabad also. And it's only after that that Raja accedes to India and on certain conditions, and all of us know, Article 370, etc. that is come. But Raja Hari Singh is a hero and therefore his birthday will be a public holiday. because he's a Hindu, right? The Nizam is a Muslim, so therefore it's liberation from the Muslim rule. I mean, you can't be more blatant in this sort of a communal polarization that's happening and distorting history. So the CPIM has decided not only in Telangana, but all over the country, the actual facts of this matter will be taken by the party during the course of this year, which is the year that the BJP has declared that they'll observe as the liberation of Hyderabad. And we are calling this the day of surrender of the Nizam of Hyderabad. Surrender to the Indian Union and recollecting the glorious armed struggle, the martyrs and the role that was played, which actually brought to the central agenda in India the entire issue of land reforms and abolition of zamindari. The abolition of zamindari laws and the land reform laws were products of such militant peasant actions that took place in other parts of the country as well. But this armed struggle was the high point of that entire post-Second World War upsurge that took place between 1945 and 47 in India. So this will be observed by us all throughout the country. The actual history will be taken to the people, exposing their distortions. So these are some of the major decisions we have taken. The Central Committee will meet in October, and then we will then take forward the momentum of the seeking the largest mobilization of secular forces against Hindutva communalism. So this is the gist of what we discussed.
Sitaram, I have a question. Sitaram, the issues which you raised in your press communique, almost similar issues, the Congress party has undertaken a Bharat Jodo Yatra. Is the CPIM bemused or is it upset that the Congress party is going to spend 19 days in Kerala alone out of its 150 days?
Well, it's their business, It's, in a democracy, every party has the right to take its own independent actions, go to the people. So, going to the people is something that is good, so let them, and everybody is doing it. We are doing it our way. I've just told you all our September campaign and our program and what the Kisans, the trade unions and the agricultural labor are doing. The AAP is doing it in its own way on some other issue. They are taking it up. So that's absolutely the legitimate right of every party to take up programs of going to the people. There's no harm. How many days they spend where, it is their prerogative. But the fact that they are spending how many days where, that is generally known, that itself people will draw their conclusions.